All right. Welcome everyone to the Package Group Weekly Sync for February 3rd, 2020. Steve, oh, I didn't see Steve. I'll read for Steve. Community contribution levels of involvement. How can we assess the level of involvement and determine the amount of time it may take up? There are two extremes, very involved, pushing substantial commits to the MR. This generally involves becoming immersed in the subject matter, learning expertise on whatever the contribution is. Uninvolved, essentially being a reviewer, only pointing to things that need to be changed without having to immerse in the subject matter itself. I think, so I'll take some notes. I think, allocating time is kind of what I've been sort of suggesting, which is something along the lines of, an hour or two a week, but it sort of depends on what's necessary. Generally, I don't want to have people have 3 or 4 different community contributions they're trying to manage or help or assist. I'm hoping that people will, only have 1 or 2, ideally 1. And so then it's kind of a question of what does the community contribution need to be helped along so that it gets delivered in a reasonable time. So it could be from one extreme to the other in that way of thinking. So some of the community contributors are really consistent. They'll follow up. They'll respond pretty quick. Others, it'll be several days before they come back. So I think my suggestion there is, as far as tracking goes, it's difficult. We've seen situations where a contribution just takes a lot longer. And unless we take it over, we can't say it's going to be in a particular milestone. So it gets a little difficult. I don't really have a good answer right now. It might be something we could track similarly to the way we're tracking feature flags. This is a community contribution I'm tracking, put it in our kickoff document for a milestone, that type of thing. Anyone else have other ideas? I don't have good ones here, I don't think. Yeah, all right. Let's start off by putting any community contribution that we're tracking let's put it in this document to start with and just figure out how many people. So at the start of the week, everyone just put down the community contributions you're tracking. And then that way we can at least get a handle on what it is. I get the impression that there's not a lot of work going in for most people, but then something like Composer and all that sort of stuff can be pretty involved sometimes. Yeah, cool. Thanks, Tim. Sweet. Anyone else have any comments on this? Feels like a bit of a soliloquy so far. Good.
I have a question. Are community contribution associated with docs changes normally or not?
I think they probably should have documentation changes, but it depends.
They should.
Yeah.
Because and typically who writes the doc? The community contributor, it's us.
I don't have a good answer for that. I would say it would expect to be the community contributor, but if they struggle, then we're going to help them.
Because one thing that sometimes I do when I work on the open source stuff is that the contribution goes in silently and then it's released whenever appear on the docs, so that we can say this is released whenever we document it, and it's more on our control, and we don't need to ping pong it across milestones.
I wonder if do we have any documentation describing when a community contribution is actually released in the handbook?
Well, it should be actually be the same merge request with a feature itself documentation. The thing actually, because if you split them, we recently have come across actually some weird stuff like features being behind feature flags and whatnot, and then not being released and things reverted, and then you have to revert also the docs, which are another merge request. So ideally, the doc should be on the same merge request as the feature itself. I don't know about any edge cases.
Yeah. Yeah, so they're supposed to be together.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. All right. Might be worth figuring out what other teams are doing here as well. I know that I've reached out to other teams already to get an idea of how much work they're doing and how they're tracking it. So I guess we'll put an action item here and I'll follow up next time with what that looks like. At the moment, I think we want to put in whatever effort's required. You're a steward for that, right? And whatever that community contribution is, if the person needs help, that's the help they do. The team that I'm speaking of is spending up to 40% of their time on community contributions, which is a lot, right? So I don't know that is something we strive for. It is something that's important to the organization, aside from just being cool to help someone, right? So I'll follow up next time with that. Or yeah, anything else someone wants to raise on this? Okay. I raised this a while ago. Time to transition to async updates and issues and blockers / I meant to put merge parrot in here, but I had to go looking for merge parrot and merge parrot items in our Geekbot standups. I'll update our handbook page. And then let everyone take a look at it. I think it'll reduce some of the noise in our Geekbot and let us see the key stuff. It's blocking or it's a merge request that we completed. Otherwise, let's put it in the issue. David's got a good format for it. Questions? I'll follow up with.
Do you mean it's going to go in Geekbot or it's going to go away from Geekbot and go in the issues?
So the normal hey, everything's going along as planned will be in the issue. And we've got an item. I'll go find it before the meeting's over. But the blocking items and the successes go into Geekbot still. The idea was just cut down on some of the work that's being done to put it in there and have it somewhere that's actually digestible by people other than just us, right? So that was kind of the idea to sort of improve collaboration there. I'll follow up with this with the issue. Sorry, I should have put that already. I'll read for Ian since mentioned not here. Wait, does anyone have any questions on that? I'm sorry, I moved on too quickly. Good. Yeah. Yeah, so Ian says, Tim, could we get an overview of custom scopes issue? There seems to be some confusion about the overall goal of the issue, and the issue is linked here. It's in GitLab, it's 33685, if anyone following along is interested in.
Yeah, well, it's pretty embarrassing, but I pulled the wrong issue into the milestone. I meant to pull in the issue that just allows people to set when the package isn't available in GitLab. They can pull, use npm.js as a backup remote. So that's the issue I meant, but when I was pulling in the issues as placeholders into the milestone, I pulled in more of a naming convention issue, which I do want to prioritize, but not in 12.9. So that's the confusion. I was talking to Ian about the issue as if as the wrong one. So it's pretty embarrassing.
I think you're human. It's okay.
Thanks.
Cool. Thanks for that. Axel, you have the next item.
Yep, just an update that we recently refactored the container register documentation. So that was part of my OKR this quarter. So I barely finished it like on Friday. I'm super happy about it. And we had a discussion actually with Tim and Ian like last week, I think. And there's more changes in the pipeline about the, all the package stuff. And thanks, Nick, actually, for reminding me that he's also submitted a merge request about improving the Maven docs, which I'm gonna review today or tomorrow. That's it, actually. You can check it out and let me know if you have any comments. There's room for improvement, but let's say that's the MVC. I moved some stuff around just to have them under one roof. And yeah, the next point is also mine. I'm gonna take 2 weeks off starting next Monday. So I'm not gonna be here for 12.8. I already told Marcel to cover for me, so he said it's okay for him. He's gonna be here. So he's gonna be your point of contact. And if you want to include me actually this week in any reviews, that would be awesome. And thanks actually, Tim, that I saw that you created the release post items already. I'm gonna review them as well. So yeah, that's nice having them so much in advance because every release we're running. Yeah, the last minute. Yeah, that's my update actually. And next one is Nick. Yeah.
Can I just say one thing? One, the container registry docs look awesome. They love the layout.
Thanks.
The one thing I think might be missing from it is how to delete images from CI. I think that's something that we get asked about often. That might be really helpful to add in. But other than that, I think it looks awesome.
Okay, I think, let me check. Maybe this is in the administration documentation, or I somehow missed it to put it in the user docs. But yeah, I'll check it out.
Okay, cool. And yeah, let me know if you need any help with anything else while you're
sure. Okay.
Guy for the next point. Basically, I just want to let everyone know that I've created some issues. Don't need to go into depth in any of these issues or anything, but if people want to check them out and have any feedback or whatever, then that's good. The package front end fixtures is something that I was interested in doing because I think like that could benefit the front end testing, but it does require some back end changes. Not anything massive. I think we just need to change a couple of the controller actions and what they do. So it may be possible that I can do that and just need a back-end engineer to review it. There's a new feature there that I just came up with, which is the second one. And then the final one is the front-end refactoring idea that I had that me and Nico were talking about working on the package pages. So I'm going to look to start that and hopefully do that as part of this week, basically, if nothing else is urgent. So yeah, I invite everyone to check it out. And if they have any questions, feel free to put them on the issues and start a discussion. Over to David next.
Yes, thank you. So as the NuGet MVC is nearing completion, I was wondering how do we release it? Since actually right now it's behind the feature flag, so do we remove the feature flag and open the gates to everyone? Or do we keep the feature flag? Knowing that there are a good number of clients and configurations for NuGet, so we will not be able to test all the possible situations. So I guess some things will not work.
People are tapping away here. Go ahead, Tim.
My opinion was the GitLab value low level of shame because it's an MVC and we can get it out there. And what better way to get feedback on all the different use cases than putting it out there and letting people open issues and tell us what's not going well. It's similar to what happened with NPM too. Like when we first launched it, our first couple of months, there was a lot of feedback about this isn't working and this, and we were able to write issues and really improve the feature over time. So I think it'll be, as uncomfortable as that is, I think I've finally growing accustomed to that being the GitLab way. But I'm open. Yeah.
That would be aligned with our iteration value as well, and the SIDS office hours have spelt that out pretty well, and in a very challenging way. So I think we can challenge ourselves to be pretty iterative here. But
Okay.
yeah, I agree with Tim.
Okay, no problem. I will remove the feature flag once all DMRs are merged. Over to Tim, if there is no questions.
Okay, so this is just a quick update. The way that GitLab uses SMAU is changing. They're basically going and saying that whatever your stage's most frequently occurring event will be the placeholder for SMAU. And so for package, it's creating additional visibility that we're not tracking the container registry events. So we have an issue for that in 12.9, but I just wanted to let people know that there's going to be this definition change. And I'm assuming our most frequent event will be Docker pull events, pulling items from the registry, although pushing will also be pretty popular, but I'm assuming pull will be more popular if it works. Like for packages, we see it's like 10-fold more popular for pulling packages than pushing. So I think images might be the same, but I could be wrong. We'll see the data. And there, I linked to an Epic as well that has all the different data requests that we have open right now. But yeah, that's all for that one. If there's no questions, then we can go on to Nico. Or Haley, you want to verbalize your comment?
Yeah, so let me bring it up. But the dashboards that I have access to for production, there's a lot more what are apparently pull requests. Let me bring that up and see if I can actually look at it really quickly. I'm not normally looking at that data though. Blah. Yeah, but when I've checked it last time, gets are far and away more common than anything else.
Okay, cool. Yeah, that's I'm looking forward to having that data and seeing it in our dashboard. That'll be really awesome. I think Nico.
Okay. So yeah, not so good news. The expiration policy run, like full test, did not run successfully. I'm a bit at loss so now to continue the investigation of this. That's the infrastructure issue that I created and Stan is commenting about. At this point, we need some sort of logs or to check the cron job to understand what is happening there. But I think we should press on this because this is all ready and should be released as soon as possible. And we need to find a way to test this quick, more fast than once a week, because that's not okay, I guess. If nobody has any comment, over to Ailey.
Okay. Yeah. So this week, the big thing is just testing the container registry on dev.gitlab.com and making sure that we're ready to cut a release on the 10th and start that process. And Tim, do you want to verbalize your comment when you're done writing it?
Well, Haley was sharing some of the numbers on, I believe this was deleting 15,000 blobs from the container registry. And it went from taking 2 hours with the current system to 93 seconds, sorry.
Yeah, this is 15,000 blobs total, and just marking them that they're in use and can't be deleted. But yeah, super, super good numbers.
Yeah, really exciting. I think that's going to be, I'm really looking forward to that change.
Yeah, this is an awesome change. We've done a lot of awesome changes since we started as a team. So I don't mean to detract from anyone else's awesome changes. This one's been hanging out there for a while. So thank you. Cool. All right. If no one has anything else, we can wrap up. Does anyone else have any comments here or anything we need to discuss?
How will we answer Nico's question? I feel like that's important, but I'm not sure if we got to the bottom of it.
Yeah. It's, so Steve was interacting on the issue, and I'm going to go take a look at it and see if I can figure out what's going on in the absence of someone to look into it. I doubt I'm going to be the solution to the problem, but I'll go take a look at it and follow up and see what's going on. I think you're right, Nico. We do need to get that done.
So the issue there is that we need access to the production console, I think, to speed up the test, and that's not something that is easily accessed. And that's why I pulled in Stan in that conversation.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, I'll go follow up on that in the issue. And that is for people following along at home. I don't know if that's public, that or not confidential at least. It's in infrastructure, it's 9050. Cool. All right. With that, thank you very much, everyone following along at home. I hope everyone enjoys the rest of their day and catch you next time.